Hey guys, so I'm making this video to kind of explain my research ideas for my thesis. The idea I'm going with is looking at panning and object placement in spatial audio. In particular, probably most likely looking at Dolby Atmos, just because it's a format that I'm familiar with it. I've used it a couple times, and I haven't played as much with any of the other formats around, DTSX or really even ambisonics very much. Um, and the reason I'm wanting to look into this is because, unlike stereo, we don't really have any hard and fast rules as to how panning should be done. For example, like a drum set. We're gonna put, the kick and snare right in the center, along with the lead vocals. Then you're gonna have your toms kind of spread around. Your overheads obviously panned hard left, hard right, and those are pretty hard and fast rules that we have. You really don't deviate from that unless you've got a pretty good reason to do so. And from what I've seen in, even surround sound and these other immersive audio formats, we really don't have kind of that generalized way of going about it. Um, so I wanted to put together this sort of experiment that would help us narrow down what is it that people like to hear when it comes to immersive audio, with regard to panning. So the idea I've got would be taking, a couple of popular songs that most people have heard probably in stereo, and I would re-record these with my band, and I would make a handful of mixes out of those. So this first mix I would do would be a audience at a concert sort of mix. So there'd be a little bit of movement between left and right, but really not too much going on, and the back speakers being mostly reserved for reverb, which is one school of thought on how to use surround sound and Atmos. And I agree with this mentality. It kind of feels like cheating in a sense, and you're not really using it to its full effect, but including it just in case maybe that's something that people like to hear. A second mix would be for using more of those rear speakers. So we get it totally immersed. And my thought behind this would be taking our standard stereo practice and extrapolating that out all the way around. So keeping, that same, hi-hats over the left, kick and snare, center, and like just make it really wide of a spread for the drums. Maybe you throw guitar way over left, your rhythm guitar way over to the right, have your singer be able to meander a little bit. But for the most part, motion wouldn't play a big part in this mix. It would be mostly keeping things where they have originally been placed. Third mix, we'd do a kind of same panning placement, but have more motion to it and have people move around a lot more, or have the instruments move around a lot more. And then the fourth mix, I have the idea of having one of my friends who's a videographer maybe um, do a video of my band, and he would, meander through the band, and as he did so, change the panning perspective to match where the camera is. So as he moves through the band, you'd get your guitar moving, around you, and that sort of thing. And the reason to include that one with the video is to see if kind of to contrast with the third mix of seeing, does having a visual cue make more motion appealing, or does it also would it detract from the realness of it? So then with those mixes, I would have participants come and listen to these, and then along with the fourth one watching it, with the audio, and just taking a survey of what their experiences are, what they thought about those mixes, how it felt, did it feel real, did it not, what worked, what didn't, and start to get these building blocks of a, you know, quote unquote panning standard or placement for all these instruments. Um, yeah, let me know what you guys think about this idea. If there's any uh, tips or pointers you would have for that, or maybe some points to focus on more or less. So, yeah, thank you for watching the video.